So this goes in the one of the screenshots. Pretty much I've been like going through some records because I'm still continuing to piece together my iatrogenic chronic illness, which is pretty much I just have dysautonomia and like some other brain damage stuff. And I stopped being able to really digest food, but I've been managing that on my own, especially since running away. But I was even trying to cure myself before then, but I was being gaslit so much it was kind of hard. But anywho, the record where it mentions me talking about arguments over food or eating, this video reminds me of it a lot. But this is like a video where I show a clip of the Yao Spike food video. I had to make sure that was coming out right. And then, I still have a lot of videos on the Abuse Evidence channels about different situations around starvation abuse, pretty much, or just arguments over food. I definitely, like, a little before I'm running away, there was the whole situation where, like, me and my older enabler, golden child sister who we all live with, she beat me up over half a bag of shrimp, stuff like that. And also that medical system note is just really funny, because I definitely saw videos from that exact day. In fact, I didn't really go to that hospital/PCP that many times, but I have a lot of videos revolving around, like, the main things that I've seen in those files, like from the tonsil removal scenarios and a lot of things that happen revolving around that, to the things that were typed up in the whole situation when I was turned in by that lady the first time I tried to run away, which I have so many videos of and about that situation, even leading up to that, still on the Abuse Evidence channels. Like even the voodoo cult lady situation, that I had the part 1 of that re-uploaded here, that was around that time. And I'm pretty sure I even still have videos and the witness reports of when someone was trying to get me a lawyer or some type of advocate for Mad in America about my situation. And well, the nurses, they didn't want my mom around me because they were always admitting that the abuse situation was what it was, so they wouldn't let my mom like come back to see me. But they had went through my stuff to find the phone that I snuck in there, because they had got like notified about somebody reaching out to the hospital advocates and stuff to try to get something done about them, talking about feeling like I was being starved at home but doing nothing. There was a lot of stuff with that, but that's the typical. But in the end, there is no help, you save yourself. All mandated reporters are on cash for kids system staff and human cash cow system staff anyway, so their job is to help abuse you or to abuse you themselves and make you a statistic and experiment and all that stuff. There's the whole I was like cave for power videos, and this is from what I like to call in the last 6 months situation, because pretty much with like schizo-narcs or Jezebelic people / narcs is like they have arguments with somebody who's not around. So like for example, and this is something that's talked about a lot in like ghetto quote unquote black woman stereotypes, but really it's the Jezebel spirit. A lot of people do this, especially people that are like schizo-narcs. So like I definitely still have a lot of videos even now of like when my mom and her boyfriend would be like arguing about something. They'd argue with each other, but like while the other person was gone. So like for example, my mom's boyfriend does something weird or crazy or whatever, and then she'll like be arguing with him, but he's not even at the house, and then the argument will last for like 4 hours, but the other person isn't there, stuff like that. I don't think that was a good example, but a lot of people talk about how narcs will like argue with nobody in the corner, so, but it makes sense though, because like to a certain extent, when you're used to not really having anybody safe, you have to vent to yourself or just argue with nobody, I guess. Oh, actually no, this is actually probably a good way to describe the whole what was I saying? The cold-heartedness, there we go, and people losing all emotion.
Why you clean stairs?
No, let me skip some stuff.
In the last 6 months, y'all doing the same shit. Your son out here stealing fucking groceries, looking like a hungry kid. For the last 6 months, y'all in here fighting over fucking food. You got people. Because okay, wait a minute. I have to give a backstory, because other than that, I feel like it's not going to make sense. So, multiple videos prior to this. This was on the way to the little 3 months of school I went to. Or no, I think definitely by this point in time, I was already in the Jim Crow self-confined placement my mom put me in, the abusive Jim Crow self-confined placement, if I was even still in that at this point in time. So this was like early in the morning. So anywho, my mom had pretended that she was going to kick her boyfriend out, because we all live with my older enabler sister, who's also one of the golden children, or golden child, or whatever in the world. And so apparently he was gone for 6 months. I think it felt like longer than that. But things definitely did get calm, because like when my mom didn't have a boyfriend, she got like more depressed, so she did like a little less crazy stuff. And so anyhow, she was screaming about how she just let him come back and he's already doing stuff, pretty much. And so she was like in the last 6 months, something. And so he was carrying on the argument after leaving the house. We were in the car in this video with the whole in the last 6 months thing. Putting shit in food. In the last 6 months, y'all doing the same shit. Your son out here stealing fucking groceries, looking like a hungry kid. For the last 6 months, y'all in here fighting over fucking food. You got people putting shit in food. I just text for all this. Let me say my text for all earlier.
You're talking about them spending their stuff to keep other people from eating it?
I don't know what's going on. I know one time chocolate spiked that fucking peanut butter. And I know nobody can get up but the kids.
No, she said that she puts laxatives in her stuff to keep other people.
Right. So she's not gonna eat it either then. Or she's gonna either take a shit. Here go fall. I'm coming for dinner tonight. Matter of fact, I'm coming for dinner every fucking night, and I'm gonna help you with your groceries. I'm not eating this motherfucker because I'm starting to think motherfuckers is spitting and shit.
And one of the funny things is that with my older scapegoat sisters that they drove crazy. Hold up, I don't think any of that came out right. My older scapegoat sisters that they drove crazy, like a little bit near the end of it. Well, nah. At whatever point she had to move back in after the whole hunt for mama situation, which is a whole separate situation that I don't really have videos of because when I was supposed to have a phone anyway, so I had to like sneak into audio recordings. But that whole situation where they went and got her and she had to like move back in with us, like pretty much they were doing the usual, oh, she's just schizo stuff because she was talking about how she was scared for her and her son eat because she was scared that like they were spitting in food, or at least that like specifically our older neighbor sister who we all live with was spitting in stuff. But I mean, people talk about like different things that they did to their personal food to keep people from eating it. And I know like in my YouTube short about me piecing together like the last little bit of the puzzle pieces, I guess, to me becoming chronically ill with the dysautonomia and the starvation abuse, I know that like there's some screenshots in there. I gotta remember what I was even talking about. Hold up. Okay, yeah, I have no clue. I'm not really good at remembering stuff, but I'm sure everyone knows this since the evidence channels due to stress and brain damage are mostly on metabolic issues. So I don't know what I was about to say, but I know I was just going to talk about, I think mainly how like there's just screenshots of like different videos about the starvation abuse or something, or I don't even know. It was going to be something revolving around that.
Yeah, it is.
Mama said she was scared. Mama said she was scared getting there.
And that's another thing as well. Oh yeah, that's what I was just talking about. Mama is my older scapegoat sister's nickname, who they drove crazy. But yeah, pretty much they just did the whole she's schizo and she's paranoid about people putting stuff in food, which at the end of the day, the mental label stuff is like mainly bullcrap. They did eventually actually make her schizo, I guess. But I mean, you could have both at the same time from trauma, but I really felt like more so she had DID and BPD, and of course CPTSD. But that stuff comes from like being in abuse situations, like emotional and mental abuse, and especially being in situations where you're used to like people hurting you, to where eventually you really can't trust anybody, or at least you feel like you can't. You definitely can't trust the people you're around because they're the ones abusing you, but they're the ones that are gonna drive you crazy and even put mental labels on you before they drive you crazy to create an issue that isn't there. I've been meaning to actually make a video about this, using this clip and then using on the pictures. I have my older scapegoat sister that they drove insane, whose nickname is Mama. The quote-unquote chocolate one, that's my older neighbor sister that I mention pretty often, and even made a video about a couple weeks ago because I ran across one of her little bullcrap comments about how homeless quote-unquote schizophrenic people should be involuntarily committed. But anyways, it was already a known fact that due to the food wars and how food belonged to certain people. Oh yeah, and then like I was always like into putting names to certain things. I guess it's just something with like being wired a certain way and like liking to be able to find my evidence videos and remember what videos what. So I know that like on one of the abuse channels, one of the playlists about the starvation abuse and stuff like that was titled Food Wars or something like that. Specifically the adults. There was like a lot of spiking, I guess, as he's calling it. And so, of course, my older scapegoat sister. Okay, wait a minute. So, this is the video from when my mom had snuck her boyfriend back in, but that's not what I'm looking for though. I'm looking for the video where like me and my older neighbor sister got into the fight over the bag of shrimp. I can't even find it, but my stomach hurts now. Crap.
I had a ball.
Wait a minute.
I had a ball. You can't be bad by yourself if you care about yourself. When you're trying to care about 10 other people, you don't give a fuck about you. You're wasting your time. The last 6 months, the last 6 months, Walmart been held hostage. DSS interested in taking your mom off. The last 6 months, the police have been in y'all house 2-3 times about some bullshit. The last 6 months, what do you mean the last 6 months? Stephen ain't had to deal with none of that. The last 6 months. There she go. I heard her when she drove you off to school yesterday, so I said you stick. I got this, and I ain't got time to deal with no other motherfuckers, girl.
I remember that. So pretty much when you're the scapegoat, you're always going to be the, with the way that the mental health system branch of the cash for kids system and the human cash cow systems works, it's really a good tool for abusers because your abusers can like just blame everybody else's problems and issues on you and say, well, since you're retarded. And so anywho, pretty much my mom was like, I have a whole retarded child to deal with and I can't deal with a grown person, something. It was something like that she was saying. So yeah, I kind of remember that. And pretty much she was saying she has to deal with me so she can't deal with him too. And then kind of my brother as well because they would always call him retarded as well, but
I uprooted myself again, away from my whole motherfucking family, everybody I love and trust. I deal with all the same bullshit you dealing with and your fuck shit. Fuck you mean? You ain't don't want to deal with somebody's shit. I gotta deal with all y'all shit. What you talking about? What you talking about? The last 6 months, like, the last 6 months, and shit. You know, so what? I'm selling drugs. That's my gun. That's my job. I go to work to make money, and that's it. And go home and chill in peace. You go bust your ass for a goddamn white man. Don't even like your job, and you come home and fuck chaos for the last 6 months. What you talking about, shit? Sound like you was jealous I had peace and you didn't. For the last 6 months. Yeah. Last 6 months. I don't want to hear this shit, man. In the last 6 months, y'all doing the same shit. Your son out here stealing fucking drugs.
Okay, but wait a minute. So I know in one of my my YouTube shorts, I show like a screenshot of one of his very recent Facebook posts where he's talking about how people say he's evil. Some of the clips, like especially the animal abuse and stuff, and even other things. I wish I did still have him, CPS witness snitch and got some of those deleted. But I still do have a lot of clips. I just want to make a collage with like that Facebook post at the beginning of the video and all types of mess that he's done. Like crap, even in the playlist that this is in, with the whole in the last 6 months thing, there's like him talking about messed up stuff that he's done to other people. But anywho, wait a minute. Okay, but yeah, this has the screenshot that I'm looking for, I think. Because I know there was this one message from somebody that, I think this was the same person that tried to, like, make a GoFundMe to help me get emancipated. That went absolutely nowhere, to be honest. But there's this one screenshot that I think I have in this video from a thumbnail of a video from the abuse evidence channels. Or the older ones that I don't use anymore. And she was pretty much talking about how, like, me getting in trouble for drinking some almond milk that I didn't even drink isn't even the only issue. It's the fact that food is, like, only belonging to certain people anyways. Okay, wait a minute. Dang, I keep choking. Hold up. That's from the tonsil infection thing, but that's not what I'm looking for. Hold up. That's not it. I think, is this it? No, that's not it. Hold up. Yeah, I still have a lot of stuff left. Dang, wait a minute. Okay, this is it. But all this bullcrap is in the way, though, so it's not really that visible. But pretty much, what is wrong isn't whether you're drinking another family member's drink or entering a territory that's not yours. Basic needs such as food and water should never be restricted. That is not normal. And then right here, this is my main breakdown where I really piece all of it together. Pretty much the iatrogenic brain damage and even some organ and nerve damage, which all goes hand in hand anyways, and probably from some iatrogenic autoimmune issues and side things. That's screwing up my digestion and causing a lot of bacterial overgrowth. Even going back to the anticholinergic side effects and causing low stomach acid all led to like the issues that I've had now that have had me like chronically ill. I mean, you could say since 12, but 14 is when it really got bad. That's also when I dropped down 80 pounds, but I was only on the drugs mid-12 to early 14 anyways. Possibly even just 13, I got so sick. And so the main point with that is that really it's like when it all boils, dang, I keep choking. When it all boils down, I just like need to figure out what to do about the dysautonomia or how to scrape up money to like go to naturopath or something to get real actual like testing and treatment for all of that. Because I think that I've kind of like fixed all the issues that I could by myself, or maybe not really. I mean, really, what it really also boils down to is that if I could have got intravenous vitamin and nutrients like years ago, probably even well before they claimed that they feel like I was getting starved at home but did nothing because they didn't care, even years before that, if I could have gotten intravenous like vitamins and nutrients and vitamin D, that could have like stopped a lot of stuff in its tracks. And I feel like if I could just get that could like fix everything. I don't know how long I'd have to get it though, because like I've been taking HCl and enzymes and stuff since like August 2024 before, and like that, and then like doing a lot of like digestive system or intestinal cleanses and getting rid of what bacterial overgrowth I could. Like that fixed stuff, but at the end of the day I still have dysautonomia that causes really all types of issues, and I still have like slow gut motility, and I still can't digest stuff without the HCl and stuff. And it's like, I mean, I can't just take HCl for like the rest of my life. I mean, I'm lucky I've been able to restock when I do need to, but I don't know how long that's going to be. And it's like I really would like to not be sick anymore by the time crap really hits the fan. Is this still recording? Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it with that.
Black people, jamming like a motherfucker. Everybody talking like,
okay, so this is kind of interesting because I've heard people talk about people like kidnapping homeless people and making them fight in cages, but people just talk about like rich people doing it, but they don't talk about random like people who aren't rich doing it. Is this even recording?
I got a nigga up in pressure. I done started a whole lot of shit since I've been there. I got a lot of people on their feet eating right now off of my little 7 grams. I said, man, I'm the lowest man on the totem pole out here. How the fuck I run this block? That mean these niggas weak out here. Anyway, these motherfuckers did some dope. These 2 crackheads, Josh and Paul Chapman. Josh and Paul Chapman, this shit. Yeah, that's why I got that little poster with the little girl dancing. I said, y'all won't learn how to get a rough that. Y'all want to motherfuckers. Nah, I didn't tell them what to do to them, but I did tell them to kill them.
Kidnap the young boys?
Nah, the young boys on the kidnapping crackheads. Stole somebody's shit. Anyway, man, they got these ones in Patterson and 30th Street. 30th Patterson over on the north side, my north side shop. My Billbrook, my old stay there. Maybe motherfuckers fight Chuck. Crackheads, they fight Chuck, but they put the motherfuckers in a dog cage, same size cage that they had. Made the motherfucking dog shit gun point. While they were talking dogs, like they top off with the hot gun back.
Where did you find these?
So pretty much, it's hard to really even hear, but he like kidnapped some homeless guys and locked them in a cage and was setting them on fire. And it's kind of funny because when you're quote unquote homeless, you're always the person that people feel like you act like they have to be scared of. I would honestly say that, especially since like running away, the amount of grown men that are scared of a little girl is really interesting to me. And it's funny because it's the same ones that aren't. They're never safe people, but I'm not even going to go into that.
Young boys.
The fuck is you? Partners for you. Yeah.
I know where she. Okay, so I have let it be known in the description of the last video I uploaded that.
I don't have the video anymore of when my mom's boyfriend had picked up a dog that my sister was supposed to be watching. Like, it wasn't even our dog. She was supposed to be like babysitting him for like some months or something like that. But anywho, he picked up the dog and he was like strangling it and kicking it and throwing it, and he would talk about tasing the dog and all types of stuff. But CPS snitched about some of the 1,050 plus abuse evidence videos and got some deleted, so I don't have that anymore. But I do still have some stuff.
Yours, it's yours, your pillow. Come here, pillow. What's this? Just wake up. Pillow, here. What I didn't want, don't for answer. I'm giving you a pillow.
I'm not gonna lie, if I was Redman, I would have bit him. Okay, so, oh yeah, and this was the only thing anybody ever cared about, which this goes into a complex that I've named anti-humanism, pro-animal, pro-transhumanism, which can even go into like ancestor worship and theory of evolution, but that's kind of a side thing that would be like kind of irrelevant. But generally, people care more about animals than people. People don't like kids at all. People don't care about kids. I always talk about how people had the F them, or people are having the F them kids movement for some years, but really they mean F them kids literally, because like I've met like a lot of vegans that are chomos, and I know I have this one short video about that, where of course this lady in the comments is like, you need help. I need help because you don't want me to tell the truth about people like the vegan dude that I show in the video, who are chomos. They care so much about animals not eating meat, but they don't care about people. And he likes 7-year-olds. But anywho, what was I gonna say with that? Oh yeah, but the only thing people ever like commented on really was the videos of the animal abuse talking about, like, there's even this one comment that's still there in one video. I know I've showed it in like other videos, but I had to find it where this one dude was like, now this is bad. So out of everything on the channels, and even the one boy who was in the Jim Crow self-confined placement with me, who passed away, out of all the bad things that have happened, something that happened to an animal is what's bad. That's what people cared about. This is also like a really big topic these days because of people talking about, especially in California, how they feel like homeless people shouldn't have pets and that animals shouldn't be homeless, whatever in the world a homeless animal even means. Like, I even seen a comment somewhere that I talked about, and I think I showed in some video probably a year ago, where someone was like, I hate seeing homeless animals cold living outside. And it's like, what does that even mean, really? Even the recent situation with Nova Black / Not Quite Van Life, who was a street kid runaway, and how like her dog had got kidnapped and given to a dog pound in a whole other county, and luckily the internet and her followers were able to help her get her dog back, because people felt like the dog didn't belong where the dog, I don't even know how to put it, but people just feel like whatever homeless animal shouldn't be homeless. I don't know what that means. Last time I checked, animals belong outside anyways. But I'm trying to figure. Is this it? Well, there's a crutch situation right here.
Giving around back.
I don't really know what all I caught, but pretty much I know the crutch ended up breaking because my mom's boyfriend had supposedly broke his leg falling down the steps, but he was still able to terrorize, but that's another story. And then in this video, this was being talked about here.
Watch this. Hey, get down.
And this is one of the things you learn in what I like to call fake false masculinity and the feminine thug persona programming, or the baby boy programming with the rap music agenda, and these people that have been abused and beat on and quote unquote getting so-called discipline that turned out fine, they fall into the feminine thug persona. They're DL, some of them are chomos, they walk around with their butt out, and they feel like they have to have this sense of false masculinity where pretty much they're just running around abusing and terrorizing people like their parents and whoever else did to them, and they feel like that's control and masculinity, just being abusive and having people scared of them. Like a wise man once said, it's better to be feared than loved. No, I ain't gonna you abusing the dog like over 7 years because they crazy dog broke out. Stop
said broke, bro. They said eat dog when it's broke, eat the dog. That kind of angle, like, damn, you're sick. They're like, yeah, it's accessible.
The voice
That's
crack.
it.
You know what though? A lot of people have issues with voice crack and stuff due to hormone imbalances and different bullcrap with the food.
That's why Red Man B don't know what to do. He's taking me afraid.
And that goes back to the video I showed earlier, because he got mad at the dog because he told the dog to go to the bed, but the dog didn't want to go to the bed because the dog was scared to walk past him. This is the hypervigilance you have to have in abusive households. And he already has CPTSD because, like, the dog would already have night terrors and he'd be, like, crying and shaking in his sleep. And so then... I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I'm stretching you. In the house. Shut your ass up. In the house. Shut your ass up. Female. Shut your ass up. Female. You ain't no fucking female.
Oh, he's not shaking that much anymore. Much is.
You know, you gotta shut me up. When we don't have to fucking talk to no more. Man, we're not together. What the fuck wrong with you?
I feel bad for him though, but he's the only one that got a happy ending because eventually he was given away to some dude who owned a farm, and now, or at least like the last thing I heard, he had a wife and kids. And I remember the dude whose farm he was living on that he was sold to. The dude had like came by our house and was like, "Do you guys want to buy one of the puppies?" And I remember my older neighbor's sister. She was like, she felt like the dude was just being funny because she was like, she was like, she feels like he probably can tell the dog's been abused his whole life. It's not funny, but like.
The fuck? What's wrong with me? Fucking relationship.
I remember this one lady had said that my mom's boyfriend sounds like a whistling tea kettle. I remember when I had got in trouble after like the medical appointments because my mom had told her boyfriend about like how my testosterone was too high due to like all the health issues. I was like, I feel like I always had high testosterone anyways, but he was like, your testosterone is 99, it's higher than mine, and he was cursing me out for like an hour because of it. But yeah, I remember I still have videos of this and I still have screenshots of this saved somewhere where this one girl was like, your mom's voice irritates me, and somebody else was like, your mom's boyfriend sounds like a whistling tea kettle. And in one of the videos, it's still there. Somebody left a comment and they were like, does he ever stop screaming?
Okay, bye. Talk that damn relationship shit to me.
I feel like the dog is more traumatized than I am. Or probably, well, I can't say that anybody.
I said I ain't no fucking relationship with you. Okay, bye.
And this even makes me think back to my old abusive friend Addie and that whole quote-unquote friendship. When two people are messed up and nobody else will be around them or be friends with them, and also when you have trauma where you're living in the false self and you don't have enough inner self and substance to really have a conversation with anybody, you can't really get to know people, and because like you can't really have a conversation with them on a deeper level, which goes into a video that I'm supposed to make of something that I've talked about since before the abuse evidence channels, which is that most people don't talk to their kids because they have no soul or sense of self. And then of course if you're in isolated situations like I am, or you're never around people your age, and like meeting people can also be hard. But what else was I supposed to be looking for though? It was something else. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, I think in this video it was somewhere recent comment where somebody played this game that there's help when there is no help to try to do the whole bullcrap fear-mongering about running away. I think I showed the clip of like my brother getting punched in the head, but I don't know if it was this video.
It was so funny though because I remember everybody told her about me escaping and she was like, that's one bad guy. Like in the situation, at the end of the day,
Is this it?
but they're never gonna really help. They're just gonna do a lot of talk. But like these.
Dang it. I don't even think I was recording. Okay. I don't think that was the right video, but I know that there's some video that's recent where I have this clip in there. Okay, crap. And this was the typical control tactic. My brother getting punched in the head because of putting sodas in the refrigerator. And I still have a lot of videos on the Part 4 channel of like my brother inviting him and my sister's friend over, but I guess he was in his own neglect situation, had to be, because he would come to our house and get beat on and starved for some reason. And there's still plenty of videos of like my mom's boyfriend even doing crazy stuff to him or around him. And I know, hold up, that's not like a good stopping point, but I know like there's this one lady who was saying something about how my sister's laugh was a fine response, and it definitely was. If I can find them, I think I clicked it already. So yeah, there was that. I'm trying to, crap, I can't get this thing out the way. And then, told my dad, used to see how he react to show these. Okay, I was reading the thumbnail of one video, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else.